Mandalorian Minute. I am Josh,
I am Ben.
and today we are tackling episode 5?
5.
Episode 5 of Season 2 of The Mandalorian, or Chapter 13. The title is The Jedi. Right off the bat, this episode is fucking awesome.
It blew my mind. It really did. I was not expecting what I got, and I'm super happy with it.
We spoke about it at the end of last week's episode. I did not expect them to actually go to Ahsoka so fast. I thought they would drag that out for a little while.
So we're getting into the time where I remember a story that we told a while back about the actor that plays the Mandalorian walking off of the set. And most of their stories now, you're going to see more of the secondary character stories, and you're starting to pick that up. So he's going to be in less of it, and they're going to be in more of it. And you could tell they're doing that now because they're actually focusing on those secondary characters.
Yeah, not only did we not have to wait, this episode kicked right off with Ahsoka
action.
Immediately. For pretty
Just
much first
tearing
thing
it
you
up.
see is lightsabers.
It was beyond expectations, and I'm going to eat crow on this one. Rosario Dawson won me over for this role.
It is a little like, it did take me out of the character a little bit because she does just kind of still act like herself. Like,
Yeah,
there's just certain mannerisms she has that it's hard to like separate from her,
agreed.
especially with the fact that there's so much of Ahsoka to watch.
Right.
So, but I mean, she is an older person, so you can just chalk it up to that. Like everyone acts different when they're older.
Yep,
But
agreed.
we open on the planet of Corvus, which is where the Mandalorian was told to go look for Ahsoka. And Ahsoka is battling a bunch of like masked guards, and she is just going in and out of fog, just cutting motherfuckers down.
She was all. Can we call her a Jedi? Because she keeps saying she isn't.
Yeah, it's very odd because I know in I don't know exactly, but I've seen the clip where she basically like renounces herself as a Jedi,
Right.
and she kind of becomes like a gray, and that's why she like switches up her lightsabers and stuff. So it was a little shocking to me that she was basically kind of still waving the Jedi flag. I was expecting her to be like, nah, it's not really. I just kind of do my thing.
Yeah, I mean, she was doing it too, man. She was tearing these fuckers up.
Yeah, she's cutting through trees to cut people in half and stuff. We see a lady. I definitely know that lady from something, but I looked up her IMDb and it didn't look. I didn't like recognize her from anything.
I don't recognize her, and I'm really, really bad at her backstory too.
Is she from the cartoons? Is she from the Clone Wars or Rebels?
I think so. I read it today, and I forgot what I read, but she does play an integral part, like between New Hope and some of the other ones. Her planet did.
Yeah,
And she's like the last one left of like this one sanction, and I'm not quite sure exactly how she came to be on that planet guarding whatever she was guarding.
yeah. They didn't really dive into it. She just kind of has like a little tiny, what seems to be one-lane town of prisoners.
Yeah, yeah,
But we see this kind of basically like a queen, and she's surrounded by bodyguards and like a big gun guy who is Kyle Reese from the Terminator.
yeah. Oh
Michael
my God.
Biehn.
It took me forever to recognize him. It was the end of the damn movie or the show before I was like, hey, wait, that's Kyle Reese.
I recognized him right away, but I just was like, he's so much older. I'm like, it could be tons of different people.
Yeah,
I was like, but it looks like it.
It did at the end. I was like, oh, shit.
But he was also like changing his voice, so it didn't really sound like him, which was
Right.
putting me off a little bit. But the Ahsoka's like, she wants to know where this lady's master is.
Right. She's looking for the
And-
master.
She's like, I'm not telling you anything. Like, she's like, you'll hand yourself over, or I'll kill everyone in this town. Like, I don't give a shit about these people. And she's like, all right. Ahsoka's like, all right, I'll give you 1 day to change your mind on that. And
Or I'm going to come in here and just wipe you all out. Yeah.
Which was a little odd to me. I was like, why roll up in there. Like, you could take all these people.
Well, maybe she's trying to take the less evil path.
I guess. I mean, she didn't seem to give a shit about that when she was cutting those people in half.
Those guys that were fighting her kind of reminded me of Ninja. Like they were all masked like that and they moved like that.
Yeah. Their voices reminded me of something, but I can't remember what it was.
The Foot Clan?
Yeah, kind of. We cut from there to, of course, pretty much the way every episode starts, Mando in space.
This time in a ship that works.
Him and the child are approaching Corvus, and Baby Yoda's not listening as usual, and he wants that ball again from the little gear shifter there, and he winds up taking it with the Force. They show it start to unscrew.
Yep.
They land. You see all these like, I'd say creatures, but like two-legged monsters in the background just eating trees.
I've seen those in the cartoons before.
Yeah, they never get up close. You just always see them in the background eating dead trees. Very weird.
They look like a cross between like a dinosaur and a piranha.
Yeah,
like
basically.
Their ass end is dinosaur, their front end is piranha face.
Yeah, basically. So they need to head into town so that they can figure out like their footing and see if they can track down this Jedi. Mando realizes that Baby Yoda has that ball, and he's like, "This is supposed to stay on the ship. Like, you can't have this."
No, God damn it, no.
And they go walking into town. They go to they find the exact same gate that Ahsoka was at. And who is it? Michael Bihn's up there, right? Kyle Reese is up there in the watchtower, and he's like, "What do you want?" And he's like, I'm a hunter. I'm here just passing through." And he's like, "You're a Mandalorian, aren't you?" And he's like, "Yep."
Yep. Like, sure be.
Yeah, and they're like, "All right, come in." The Magistry. What is her name? The Magistry? No, it's not Magistry. Is it Magistry? The old lady?
Is that what she is, or is that her name?
That's like what they kept calling her.
I think that's her title, the Magistrate.
Yeah. Magistry, yeah.
Yeah, that's her title, yeah.
So he's like, "The Magistry wants to see you."
Yeah, they kind of hijack him. They didn't give him a choice.
Yeah, it wasn't optional. And they walk through like this town of shit, basically.
Yeah.
There's like poor people everywhere. Nobody will talk to Mando. They're all like, "No, like, get the fuck away from me."
Yeah, don't talk to me. Don't talk to my kids. Just keep walking.
There are prisoners in like these like electric gulags.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
if they
God.
move at all, they get electrocuted.
I would not want to be in that. It just looked painful.
They kind of made it seem like that one guy was gonna be like had something to do with Ahsoka. Like she wanted him. Like maybe it was like her lover or something.
Like that one with the 3 kids?
Well, like no, the guy that was in the gulag. They like pulled him up in the beginning when she was there.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, "I'll kill this guy. I'll kill everybody. Like I don't give a fuck." And then like they kept showing him in the gulags, and I'm like, what does she care? Like it must be this guy. But then it wasn't. Like they just never went back to that really.
Yeah, it was weird. They were using him as a pawn, but there was no reasoning for it.
So he gets in there, and the Magistry is living in like a. It's like she lives like in a paradise bubble within this like shithole. And she's
fancy
got
trees and little rivers of like koi ponds and stuff.
She's got a little koi pond. They never.
Yeah, it looked like a little Japanese village. It was really, really like.
Yeah, it's quaint.
Kind of reminded me of Mr. Miyagi's dojo. Yeah, with the bridges and the koi ponds.
And she's basically like, "You're a Mandalorian. I got a Jedi issue. You two are supposed to hate each other."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I don't work for free. Like I'm actually quite expensive." And she's got a Beskar spear, which is the same stuff his armor's made out of.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah, which is also very expensive because his armor, like everybody wants to kill him for his armor because he's just walking on money basically.
it's like the most expensive. Is that what their pretty much their gold is there?
Yeah, like Mandalorians are so rare now that their metal is now rare. So it is super. It's worth a lot because it's also, as we see here in a little bit, it's pretty much indestructible.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
So, he's just kind of like, okay, sure, I'll do that. Like, basically, like, I'm going to use you to tell me where the fuck this Jedi is.
Right,
like, I'm not
right.
doing this.
Yeah, I'll take your money and not do what you asked me to do.
So she's like, "I'll go over here, go through the woods, basically, and you'll find the Jedi." And he's like, "All right." So they go on a little trek. Doesn't take long. Ahsoka attacks the Mandalorian, and I didn't know this. I'm sure lots of people did know this from like Rebels or Clone Wars. Is that Beskar is like can't be cut by lightsabers.
Yeah, I was not expecting that, but it's a cool trait. I love it.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that, so it was really cool to see. They scrap a little bit, and then he's like, "Bo-Katan sent me here to find you."
Yeah, he screamed out her name first to stop her. Shock value.
Yeah, he flamethrowered her tunic or whatever you want to call it off. What do you call that?
What she was wearing?
Yeah, like a robe.
Yeah, it's like a tunic.
And she immediately senses that the child has the Force, uses the Force, is gifted, whatever.
Oh, she recognizes his species.
Yeah, well, and then, she's also like, this motherfucker looks like Yoda.
And then she says Yoda's name.
Yeah. So then they speak using the Force, basically, for a while.
Yeah, it's more like feelings, they said. I was reading up on it. It says they connect through feelings.
Yeah, they're not saying it. They're just kind of staring at each other. But you can tell they're having a chat.
Full-on conversation with a 50-year-old baby.
Yeah. Which, that timeline, like, Ahsoka tells the Mandalorian that Baby Yoda was born inside the Jedi Temple. His real name is Grogu. He was rescued during the fall of during Order 66, during the fall of the Jedi Temple. Someone rescued him, and then his memory gets real hazy. So that puts to rest where he came from. I thought he was a clone. So this, and the reason, like, this whole age thing with him is not lining up.
Not as well as it should.
I thought maybe he was a clone, like the clone army, like maybe they put something in to slow his growth.
Right.
Like they did to speed up their growth. Because it's like Yoda died of old age at 900 years old.
Right.
By this rate, Yoda would have only been 18 years old.
Maybe.
Like Grogu is 50 years old, and he's basically the equivalent of a 1-year-old. So it doesn't really, unless like they just have a very long maturity rate, and then they just, they hit a certain point or an adult. It doesn't really bother me, the whole age thing. It's the fact that he's 50 and still acts like a baby. It's like, Yoda is supposed to be so wise because he's so old.
Right.
If he matures at the same rate as a human but ages differently, then he would be super immature at 900 years old.
I see where you're going with that. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either.
But Ahsoka can tell that he has a lot of like worry and is scared because of like his memory issues and the fact that he is basically still a child. So they do like a little test of his Force abilities. He wouldn't use the Force on command to push a rock back for Ahsoka, but he did use it to take the little ball from the Razor Crest from Mando.
That means he only uses the Force on things that are interesting to him.
Yeah. So she's like, I won't train him because he's too emotionally attached to you. Right.
And too emotionally attached to anything that he's attached to. Yeah. So he's already blown the whole Jedi, manga.
Hey. And she's like, I've seen what happens to fully trained Jedi Knights that are too emotional. Like, It's basically like, I've seen Darth Vader, motherfucker. You don't know.
I was like, oh yeah, she's talking about Vader. It was fantastic. Everything that they said just links up, and it's great.
So the Mando makes her deal. He's like, I will go to town with you. I will help, like, free these slaves and take down the Magister if you will train Baby Yoda. Like, this was my task. Like, you have to take care of him, basically.
Yeah, take this kid, damn it.
And she's like, okay. So they go to town. And it's basically just Ahsoka killing everybody again. She tells the Magistry that she killed Mando. And she has these, like, assassin robots.
Yeah.
Which are from, they're from, like, Legends. They were in, like, the like, expanded universe before it got canceled.
Yeah, but they were much more fiercer in the cartoon than they are in this show.
Yeah, they were badass. And she's just running and cutting, basically.
Yeah, and that's what she did.
Until she gets into the Magistry's house. And Mando faces off with the gunman, Kyle Reese.
Yep.
Who's basically like, he just shows his cards. He's like, yeah, I'm paid to do this. Like, I know when it's a worthy cause to be fighting for, and this ain't it.
Yep.
Like, I don't give a fuck.
Well, he was waiting for one of the two inside the walls to whoever was going to die, he was going to fight or not fight.
Yeah, Ahsoka starts fighting the Magistry with she's using the Beskar spear, and I don't know. This fight seemed a little off. Like, I'm pretty sure Ahsoka should have been able to fucking kill this bitch easily
in a heartbeat. I don't know how this woman trained to be as agile as a
unless
Jedi.
There's some, like, backstory I'm missing from Rebels or Clone Wars or something.
Yeah, we'll have to do some research on her.
Yeah, where she was like a fierce foe, but, like, to me it was like a middle-aged lady fighting a fucking fully trained Jedi.
Yeah, well, I mean, she is getting older.
Yeah.
Ahsoka at this point, should be in her mid-50s too.
Yeah. But she's also an alien. We don't know. She could live to fucking 2000.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Yeah, so Kyle Reese is basically like, whoever wins here, like, I'll just be on that side of it. And he's, like, pretending to put down his gun, and Mando ain't falling for that shit. Yeah. And it's very old Western.
That's what you gotta love about this show. All of it's old Western.
Yeah. And he tries to trick him, but then Mando just blows him away.
That's what he needed.
Ahsoka wins. She disarms the Magistry, and then finally we find out who her master is. She wants to know where. You would think it would be Moff Gideon, but it's not Moff Gideon. It is Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yep.
Who originally is from the expanded universe. He was the hugest bad guy.
Isn't he blue?
Yeah, he's blue. He's got red eyes.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him. If they put him in the show, I can't wait to see how they do it.
Yeah, he was the main bad guy after the fall of the Empire, I believe, in the novels, and then once they scrapped that, they brought him into Rebels.
Yep.
As a bad guy, and then that's how Rebels ended. Was him and Ezra, like, went off into some sort of portal or something.
A terrestrial plane.
Yeah. So the town is saved. Mando had left Baby Yoda on the ship, Grogu. So he's like, I'll be back. I'm going to go get him. He goes back, and Grogu's sleeping, and we get sad Mando. Oh,
yeah. If you could see his eyes, he was weeping. Yeah.
He's hugging on Grogu. Doesn't want to part with him. But he gets him all ready, and he goes to head back, but Ahsoka's already there. And she's like, yeah, I'm not training him.
Yeah, I'm going to go back on my word.
And he's like, we had a deal. And she's like, well, you're like his dad. So if you go to this planet, there's a old Jedi temple. And at the top of it is like what did she call it?
I can't remember what she called it, but I know that if you
It was
go
like a
there,
looking glass or something.
I think so.
So basically, it's like a Jedi tool to help him choose the right path.
Right.
And
Well, it judges you, I think.
yeah, and so it'll basically be, is he supposed to be trained to be a Jedi or not? And if not, then he'll stay with Mando. And if he is, then a Jedi will be reached out to by the Force to
Right.
come and seek him out.
But you would think they would be able to feel it anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you're right here, girl. Why don't you fucking do it?
Yeah. Well, she's got a different mission.
And it's also like, what if this is a big swerve? Like, what if Grogu winds up being evil? Like, what if he's actually like a Sith Lord? Like,
It could happen.
it could happen. Crazier things have happened. He gets very angry when he doesn't get his way.
I know, and that's part of what Ahsoka can feel and doesn't want to train him because of that. His emotions are too erratic.
I did get the feel at the end of this. I have it in my notes here. Your princess is in another castle from Mario. That's how every episode is kind of starting to feel at the end, where it's like, oh yeah, we know we told you to get here, but now go here.
Oh yeah,
oh,
it's
we
all
told
going
you
to
to
be
get
side
here,
missions.
but now go here. Like, it's like, all right, like. But I mean, that being said, this episode was fucking amazing.
I was blown again. They just topped the last episode with action and movie quality graphics.
Yeah,
can't beat it.
So how many Baby Yodas out of 5? 5. Yep.
I'm giving it 5.
I'm gonna try to make them pop up at the bottom.
Yeah, 5 all the way across the board with this one. Everybody
That's
needs to watch
fantastic.
this. Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm gonna post some stuff on our Facebook page here in a few minutes.
I think it's the first like official live action lightsaber we've ever seen not in a movie. It has to be.
Cartoon.
Yeah, I'm not counting cartoons. Yeah. I said live action.
Oh, well, that's true. That's what you said.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's also the only Star Wars show, but
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they had any lightsaber action in the 70s when they did their Christmas special and Fight for Endor and all that shit. Or Battle for Endor. I think I own that one somewhere. We're going to have to watch that.
Yeah, I think I've seen it on your shelf. All right, folks. Let us know how many Baby Yodas out of 5 you give it in the comments. You can follow us on Twitter, FNBN Podcast. We are on Facebook and Instagram, FNBN, the number 4 and the letter U. We're on TeePublic, tpublic.com/FNBN. I'm Josh.
I am Ben.
And this has been your Mandalorian Minute.
Stay nerdy, my friends.